Watch this.
I feel it just gives me the ick, you know?
The end of the school year could mean the closing of a significant chapter for Sarah Inama. The Lewis and Clark teacher whose "Everyone is Welcome Here" poster started a movement is ready to move on from the school district she says doesn't support her. If you think politics has gone in the gutter, wait till you see what's happening in the race to sit on Eagle's sewer district board. Has poop also become partisan? Well, the West Ada School District, the board, I should say, held their only May meeting last night. A pretty run-of-the-mill get-together as it was. However, there would be a continued discussion of a changing of a district policy. The district policy concerning content-neutral materials in classrooms. The same policy the district applied in asking a Lewis and Clark middle school teacher to remove an "Everyone is Welcome Here" poster from her classroom because, she was told, it was an opinion and not everyone believed it. Therefore, it was contentious and a violation of policy. So they were hoping to maybe be more specific with this new policy and establish a review committee that would then consider and rule on any appeal to it. The policy would prevent any promotion or opposition of any political, ideological, religious, or socially contentious issue. But in the discussion last night, Trustee Renee Ozuna wondered if this policy might limit what colors can be shown in the classroom, or even what teachers can wear to school.
But I want to make sure that we're not using that language to not allow, for example, the "Everyone is Welcome Here" t-shirts. And I just want to understand clearly what our staff's First Amendment rights are related to dress code.
The district legal counsel said they're going to kind of review that and get back to them. But this is just the first reading of the new policy. They didn't make any decision on it, and that likely won't happen until July. But it appears the policy committee might have some work to do before then. Meanwhile, what about the teacher and the poster that started this whole policy review in the first place? With just about 10 days left in the school year for West Ada, we wanted to check back in with Sarah Inama, the 6th grade world civilizations teacher at Lewis and Clark Middle School. And she told us her poster, yeah, it's still in her classroom, but come next fall, after 5 years of teaching, it won't be, and neither will she. There were 2 of them. The problems with Sarah Inama's posters, how long have those been up in your classroom?
Probably 4 years.
Began in early February.
My building administration came to me during my lunch period and told me that they needed to be taken down by the end of the day. They told me that they were in violation of district policy because in today's political environment, they're considered a personal opinion.
However, in Sarah's opinion, they weren't.
And so I went back into my classroom and put it back up. And I emailed my principal and said, I don't agree. I don't agree that this is a personal opinion. I feel like this is the basis of public education.
On February 25th, West Ada's chief academic officer, Marcus Myers, provided the policy explaining the district's decision. But Sarah wasn't buying it.
Yeah, because everyone is welcome here, especially since the poster emphasizes in regards to skin color with the images of the hands, that is considered something that people have differing views on.
And the differing view would be racist?
I mean, I can't even wrap my head around what other differing view of it would be. I mean, except for something that's exclusionary.
Exclusionary?
Yeah, I have heard people say racist things to Abby.
We would learn in the following days, would go far beyond removing inclusive posters in the West Ada School District. Were you being singled out because of the color of your skin? Were you told, were you called names? Those kind of things?
Yeah, like when I'd walk in the hallways or wherever I was, I would constantly be hearing the N-word either to me or to someone else.
You know, Abby didn't feel welcome in school. She just showed up as a person of color, and that's what made her feel unwelcome because of the reaction other kids were having.
There was something else we would also learn.
Yes, sir.
How many were ready to stand with Sarah?
We're never this busy. This is a whole nother level.
With tens of thousands of t-shirts being sent across the country and the world.
As a homegrown Emmett kid and living in this town my entire life, it gives me goosebumps even thinking that this town is doing what it's doing right now.
Support for Sarah and her poster then took to the streets.
You pass me a green?
Or rather, the sidewalks of the West Ada School District.
When I started this, I told my husband that I was expecting maybe 50 people. To see it balloon to over 3,000 people interested in a matter of a week just blew me away.
All of it
basically, I feel like we're hushing what the real problem is.
Gave Sarah resolve in her resistance to removing her poster.
The politics of whatever's going on outside the school should not affect how we create our classroom environment.
And for weeks,
What Matt does then is he then interjects his beliefs in that. And then
other
says,
than
"What do you
practicing for a local political podcast,
This was no accident at all. I think it was directly timed along with this and the conversation we've had politically in the Department of Education, politically timed both by the reporter and by the teacher.
the district and its board of trustees refused to answer questions about how an "everyone is welcome here" poster could be considered personal opinion or a violation of policy.
Welcome to the regular board meeting for the Board of Trustees for the West Ada School District.
Not even at their next meeting, despite getting an earful.
This is absolutely ridiculous and utterly embarrassing.
From an overfilled boardroom.
But the way this policy has been implemented hasn't prevented conflict. It has fueled confusion and mistrust.
What is the political opinion? I still have not been told that. For an opinion to be an opinion, it's that people don't agree on something. So I just want to know what that is.
And besides trustee Renee Ozuna,
I want to be clear, I'm in full support of the posters that were asked to be removed, for the very same reasons many of you are here tonight.
the board didn't back down from how Sarah's situation was handled.
But there's been a sort of a repeated call to acknowledge a mistake. And I want to say in the clearest possible terms, I think that everything was done right here.
While that can be disputed,
I don't know.
One thing is certain.
I feel like there's a lot of questions left unanswered.
With just about a week left in the school year,
frustrating.
Sarah is taking another stand. Did you already turn in your resignation?
Yes.
Have you heard anything back?
No. I haven't heard much from the district or my admin about this whole debacle since it started.
What have these last few months been like for you?
Just kind of unsettling, not a lot of clarification about the whole situation. I felt like throughout the whole timeline I've been given so many different reasonings why my poster was in violation. I feel like I deserve to have a more solid explanation and to have all of my questions answered. I mean, even to this day, I'm still can't even believe that this is the situation that I'm in, that a poster that is welcoming all the students in my classroom is not only not celebrated, but considered controversial. And worse than that, just an opinion. And I just don't want to be a part of it.
In her resignation letter, Sarah wrote the district was, quote, more interested in not alienating people with a racist view of our students rather than supporting me and my classroom motivational posters.
I don't see any other way about it. I don't see any other reason besides that. I don't know why else they would ever find this message or this poster or the visuals on it to be controversial in any way, unless they were recognizing racist sentiments or racist opinions from people.
Have you told your students about your resignation?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
They write notes in some of their classes and deliver to their teachers, and I have them fill out kind of an end of the year reflection on, what they learned in my class that they thought was fun and cool. And a lot of them have said they have learned that it's important to stand up for what you believe in. So if that's a lesson that they learned inadvertently in my class, then I'm proud of that. And that sometimes adults are wrong.
From the beginning, with the avoiding of answering questions, it seemed like the school district would rather Sarah and her poster predicament would just go away. Is that what's happening now? Is it just going away?
I hope not. I hope that they can figure out a way to look at messages of inclusion and the celebration of diversity of the students that are in our schools and realize that that is not something to be fearful of, that is not something to deem controversial for whatever reason. It's beautiful. It's the kids of this country, it's the kids in this community, and it's people's children. And we're here to teach all of them.
What are you going to do with the poster?
It's the last thing on my walls right now. I think it will be the last thing I take down.
Well, Sarah, despite having to resign or feeling like she has to resign and not having a job lined up for next fall, she has no regrets, she told us. And you know what? She's not the only West Ada teacher walking away because of the district's interpretation and handling of a policy. After 15 years, 3 degrees, 2 Teacher of the Year awards, and more than 1,000 students in her classroom, Narissa Armstrong has also decided to call it quits. The Meridian Middle School teacher wrote a scathing 3-paragraph resignation letter to the district last month. "You've made it extraordinarily clear that diversity is not welcome here," she wrote. "Further, you have reinforced that educators and parents who stand against this intolerance will be maligned and dismissed. Therefore, I am not welcome here either. I will no longer give my heart, time, expertise, and career to a district that disregards the basic tenets of a pluralistic democracy and public school system." Like Sarah, next Friday will be Narissa's last day as a West Ada teacher. And like to have every single time we've asked them, the West Ada School District declined an interview today, this time calling it a personnel matter. So will this be the last time we hear about everyone is welcome here? Well, we'll see. We do know the T-shirts, well, they're being worn around the globe. And there's a good chance the topic could come up again in the fall when 2 of the 5 board positions are up for election. All right, when you think about elections, your mind probably goes to presidents, governors, maybe even state legislators. But does it also go to the gutter? Well, this month in the consolidated election, you're going to be voting for things like, library boards, school bonds, and yes, possibly those who sit on the throne of your local sewer district. And that particular race in Eagle has started to create, well, a bit of a stink. Steve from Middleton asked, have you guys looked into the politicization? Politicization? That's a tough word. I'll come back to that one. Of the nonpartisan elections like the Eagle Sewer District. Some pushback from folks who don't like the partisan nature of it. Well, Steve, because of you and Christopher, who emailed us the same question, we looked into it. And while the race for Eagle's Sewer District Board of Directors might not sound all that flashy, has it risen to the level of being biased? Hunter Funk flushed out some answers.
There are a wide variety of local elections happening all across the state.
In 37 counties, to be exact.
They range from some school bonds and school levies that people are often used to, but also you have library district board positions, sewer district board positions. A lot of local taxing districts will be on the ballot.
These types of elections are supposed to be nonpartisan. That means technically candidates aren't running as Republicans or Democrats. But that doesn't mean politics isn't in the pipes.
The political parties aren't involved in the selection process at all, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the candidates themselves aren't registered with a political party or aren't, obviously, I think in the Eagle Sewer District case, touting their partisan bona fides as they go out and campaign.
Candidates have these signs, specifically this one with the GOP logo on it. And if you look at the other candidates too, they're aligning themselves with political parties.
Partisan politics plays a big role in everything that we do when we see in terms of elections. So I think what you're seeing is just candidates choosing to tout that they're partisan, even though these races themselves are nonpartisan races.
So according to Secretary of State Phil McGrain, yes, these races are nonpartisan in name, but in practice, candidates can still campaign with party messaging. There's no rules stopping them. McGrain says whether you vote red, blue, or just because you want your toilets to flush, your voice matters in these races.
When you're voting on mayors, city council members, school board members, they have really big impacts on our community. These odd year elections really are important. So I hope to see people show up and exercise their right to vote.
So the nonpartisan ballot may look a little bit more partisan than you'd expect, but McGrain says it's just the way the candidates can try and find a way to get a victory on Election Day. Also, important to note, don't rely on seeing the R or the D on your ballot next to the name because, again,
it won't be there.
It won't be there. It's nonpartisan.
Well, it's funny because some of these races, like we get this question a lot, how is a coroner position partisan, which it has become, and years ago they changed it that way. One of the reasons is so that the parties, mostly the GOP, then can claim victory, like we got another one in office. So these are not that way now, but it is still kind of like that claiming of, hey, we got another one in office if we can declare them as a conservative or Republican or whatever.
And that's exactly what McGrain was like. It's, a victory tactic, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, even in Eagle, where it's a really Republican-led area, it doesn't matter. They're going to try what they can.
And I guess the question is, you remember that going to the ballot box on May 20th. All right, thank you very much, Hunter. All right, if you want to know what's on your ballot next week, because it is coming up next week, you can check out our KTVB voter guide. It's on our website right now at ktvb.com. Or, just like you text us to send us messages during the show, you can text the word VOTE to the number on your screen. I'd prefer if you wait till after the 208 to do that, but we will send you a link directly to your phone if you do that. All right, raise your hand if you love red pandas. Who doesn't, right? Well, Aspen Shumpert tells us more about the long-awaited red panda exhibit opening at Zoo Boise and a few other things in today's 411.
Just denied, 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 denied. Does that not show a bias?
Things got heated in the courtroom today when Lori Vallow-Daybell told the judge he's showing bias in his rulings over her motions. This was at the pretrial for her second murder conspiracy case in Arizona. This one has to do with the 2019 shooting that missed her niece's ex-husband in Gilbert. The man leading a campaign to recall several Caldwell City Council members received a cease and desist by a law firm representing the council members. The letter requests Caldwell resident Jim Hollis to stop, quote, making or conspiring with any third party to make any false and defamatory statements concerning these individuals.
Communication is key to a very successful chip seal program.
Drivers, watch out because chip sealing is expected to start May 27th. Ada County Highway District plans to chip seal more than 300 lane miles. If you live in Ada County, sign up for ACHD's alerts so you know if crews are in your area or if you need to move your car. And good news, if you still don't have your Star Card and are trying to get it, the pop-up Star Card office is open until Friday at the State of Idaho campus on Chinden. The pop-up is exclusively for Star Cards. All you have to do is walk up. If you can't make it by Friday, the pop-up is moving a little further down Chinden to the DMV office in Garden City. As of May 7th, the Star Card or another federally approved ID is needed to fly or enter certain federal buildings. Zoo Boise's new red panda exhibit officially opened this morning. Their new dig features outdoor habitats, an indoor day room, and overhead walkways.
We decided to really invest in red pandas, in their care, their upkeep.
Zoo Boise currently has 4 red pandas, but more are joining in the next year. And that's the 411 on the 208. I'm Aspen Shumpert.
All right, another day of what feels like nearly nonstop wind across the Snake Plain. Current wind speeds anywhere from about 15 to near 30 miles per hour, howling east of Boise. Remember, these are sustained winds. We've seen gusts nearing 40 miles per hour throughout the day. And our winds for the next 12 hours into the overnight hours and tomorrow morning start dying down after sunset. We don't have a calm day tomorrow, but we should kick the breeziest, blustery winds to the curb and just be left with some light northwest winds during the day tomorrow. Still pretty active out there east of the Boise area. Magic Valley getting a few rain showers. We see some showers trying to develop north of Boise, so can't rule out a couple spot sprinkles for the rest of your evening, though we also have some sunshine in play out there as well. Lots of sun tomorrow. Here's a sneak peek of your Thursday, starting off in the mid-40s in the Treasure Valley. We'll warm to about 66 in Boise, so temperatures don't move a whole lot over today, but with the sunshine and lighter winds, it should be a little more enjoyable tomorrow. We will start in the 40s tomorrow morning across most of the Snake Plain, upper 20s and low 30s in the mountains. Again, high temperatures don't move a whole lot over today. We'll see those mid to upper 60s for the Treasure and Magic Valleys, low to mid 50s, high temperatures across our mountain locations for Thursday. On Friday, a round of rain is possible early in the morning. Then we have clouds and cool temperatures on deck to wrap up the work week. We stay in those mid 60s over the weekend, with rain looking likely off and on Saturday, lingering into Sunday before we finally warm up early next week.
All right, let's get to your comments. A lot of people commenting on Sarah and Emma resigning from a West Ada School District position. Shame on West Ada School District letting this type of culture to exist. The diversity, the poster, making these teachers feel unwelcome and basically setting them up to resign. The board should resign instead, says Jeff. Well, there's at least one good thing about the school year coming to an end. Brian and KTVB can find another issue to alienate what few conservative viewers they have left. I'm sure Sarah and her fellow disgruntled teachers will find a home next door at Boise School District. Maybe they could just make that poster into a flag. I want to know what's conservative about an inclusive poster, about everyone is welcome here. What is liberal about that, or conservative? Is that not supposed to be bipartisan? West Ada has truly made a mess of this so-called controversy. Kudos to the teachers who are standing up to what can only be interpreted as racism, says Jack in Boise. Samantha from Meridian, I can say as a West Ada parent, we are not letting this thing go. These board members work for the families and the children of West Ada. They're sorely mistaken if they think ignoring the parents or the issues will make them magically go away or force people to be quiet. Well, at least we don't have to deal with the 10 Commandments being posted in every public school. That's what somebody would say because, well, of this new policy. However, that idea was proposed in the legislature this past session. It didn't go anywhere in the Education Committee, but you never know. It could be back. And yes, if the legislature says the 10 Commandments will be posted in school classrooms, guess what? That's what probably will happen. What was the other one? The last one I had there was, what's the Republican platform on sewage? Because everyone should handle their own, right? And if public funding sewage is a socialism thing, how's that work? That's what we got from, that was Jerry Smith, I believe. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KTVB Plus app everywhere you stream.